Hello everyone. Today I thought we would talk about periods. So all to my male viewers, you may want to turn this off because this is not for you. But I thought maybe I could help other women who struggle with irregular periods and even infertility, that maybe they might need to go get checked out and maybe get a uterine sample done just to make sure that you don't have uterine cancer like I found out I have. So I'm just going to tell you my story and about my period. Some people might think I'm crazy sharing all this information, but if it helps somebody else, then I think it's worth it. So here I go. I was a late bloomer. I started my period when I was about 15 and maybe even 16. And it was always been irregular. I've never had a regular 28-day cycle ever in my whole menstruating period. I never knew when it was going to come or when it was going to end or how long it would last. Sometimes it would last 2 weeks, sometimes it would last 3 days, sometimes it would last a month, sometimes I didn't have a period for a year. But there was always something there, not necessarily blood, but always something annoying there. And over the course of 15 years, I call them my volcanic eruptions, because that's seriously what I just explode. And I've had about 4 of those, and my first one was when I was a senior in high school. I had my first one, and I bled nonstop for 24 hours, and clumps of tissue would fall out, and sometimes the size of my fist. I mean, sorry to get graphic, but and come to find out throughout this experience, just to spend the lining in my uterus that sloughs off, and so I've had massive volcanic eruptions. About 5. I probably have about 5 over the last 15 years. And I've been very faithful telling all my gynos about my history of everything, and they've all just brushed me under the rug and put me on birth control. My first volcano, when I was a senior, he put me on birth control, and so I was on birth control, and that regulated my period and then I got married, and then my husband and I wanted to try to have kids, and so I went off it. So about 3 years, 3 or 4 years I was on birth control, and I was totally normal. Like, I had a normal period and it regulated me and everything. But then when I wanted to have children, I went off of it, and then my periods went back to the way they were. And they've been like that ever since. And ever since I got married, I've kind of gone off and on birth control. I go to the gyno and they just say, brush me under the rug and put me on birth control. And in the back of my mind, I've always wanted to get pregnant and to become a mother. So I went off of it just to see if I could get pregnant, and I've gone to fertility doctors and done fertility treatments and all of that, but nothing happened with pregnancy for me. So that's when we decided to adopt, and so we adopted 2 kids in between all this has been going on. And I don't know what else to say. Just my periods have been very irregular. It's kind of a relief to be done with it, because the periods were just so crazy and not normal. And anyway, my last volcanic eruption happened the end of February this year. We were up in Moab on a Jeep trail, and if anybody's been to Moab on a Jeep trail, they don't have bathrooms along the way. You're out in the middle of nowhere on the red rock. It's beautiful. You've never seen anything like it. if you've never gone jeeping, I suggest you do down in Moab, because you will see things that you've never seen before, and it's just so pretty. But that was my last volcanic, I don't know how to say that word, so sorry, volcanic eruption. Happened the end of February, and it was all down my legs, all the way down to my knees, and I had to ruin my husband's trip, and he had to take me back to the hotel so I could clean up. Oh, when I was on the trail, I had to go behind a tree. Oh my gosh, so embarrassing. I had to go behind a tree and do my thing, and it seriously looked like a murder scene, or I had a miscarriage, or it was bad. So at that point, I'm like, I gotta do something. I have my 2 kids, and I have come to peace with my infertility, and I needed to just not have a period anymore. So that's when I found my new doctor, and I found him through my sister-in-law. And when I went and told him, I sat down and said, now, I have had 6 or 7 doctors over the past 15 years, and no one listens to me. And I think that's how doctors are. Some doctors, I feel like they think women exaggerate things a little bit, or they don't have time to deal with you. This is how I feel. And so they just kind of do what they are trained to do and give you something. They just put me on birth control every time, and I'm like, no, there's something really wrong with me. I could tell. I don't know if you guys are in tune with your body. I'm sure everybody is, but you can tell when something's wrong. And I have known something's wrong with me for a long time, since I was a senior in high school, and I just have always wanted to know what was going on with me. And so finally my doctor heard me and listened to me, and he suggested 5 tests that we could do, and then that's when he found my cancer. And I am just so relieved that I listened to my body and actually sat him down and said, please help me. And I'm so glad that he heard me and listened and cared enough to help me. And so to all you women out there who are irregular or infertile and are in your 30s, I would recommend you going to find a gyno that will listen to you, and if you haven't already, and tell them about the history of your menstrual cycles, and hopefully they can figure out what's wrong with you, and hopefully it's not cancer or anything related to that, but you just never know. And so I just recommend, hopefully my story can help somebody else, and that's why I'm sharing it. So anyway, if you have any questions, you can email me or anything. I just appreciate all the love and support I felt over the past month. I truly have felt everyone's love for me, and it's been hard, but I'm getting through it. People ask me, how are you? I just admire how strong you've been, and how happy you've been, and how strong you are. And I've been thinking about that, and there's one person that keeps me strong, and that's my husband. And I just want to thank him. He has he's the type of guy that has no worry and just goes with the flow, and is in reality, where women can tend to get out of reality and go up in the clouds and think everything's fine. And but he always brings me back down, and I appreciate that. And he has told me this quote throughout our marriage, and not a quote, but something he says to me that really helps me. He says, when I was struggling with my infertility, this was back in 2002, 2003, he says to me, you can't change the fact that you can't have kids. So we can do something about it, or we can sit and mope about it and feel sorry for ourselves and not move forward. And he said the same thing with when I had cancer. He said, it is what it is. You can't change it. You have cancer. So let's do something about it. Let's fix it. And let's move on and be happy. And he, that has really helped me over the years, that there's some things in life that happen to good people and bad people. And it's your choice if you do something about it or sit and mope about it and feel sorry for yourself. And so my husband is my strength, and I owe a lot of the way I have dealt with this because of him. And I just want to thank him for that, because I don't know, he's he's funny, but he's all about what's real, and so I like that. Anyway, that's my period talk. I hope I can help somebody out, and if you know somebody who has maybe been diagnosed with cancer, maybe with my same situation, feel free to share my video with them, and I don't know, hopefully I can help somebody out there. So thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you later. My results, I go find out my results tomorrow. So I think I'm more nervous for that than my surgery. Just because the unknown, you know, kills you. So, but I always think about what my husband says. Keep it real. It is what it is, right? So it will be whatever it is tomorrow. I will keep my head held high, and I will do whatever I have to I'll just chug through and do what I have to. If that's chemo, radiation, or if it's not. So thank you for watching, and I'll keep you posted with my results. Thanks. Bye.